Hello everybody, today we'll be talking about the essential macros that you need to have on Naruto Final Fight. Before we begin, I would strongly suggest that you shift to WASD format instead of arrow keys because that's more optimal and you can utilize your mouse more because your right hand is going to be free. You can focus on your movement with your left hand. So I'll give you two options. One would be for people who have a gaming mouse and one would be for people who don't have gaming mouse. So let's look into the macros. First, we'll just go through the basic ones. You don't have to worry about the gaming mouse part right now. So you can put your Shunpo or your mole or your toy, whatever, any move that helps you teleport around walls. You'll put it on this, and if you have multiple, if you have Shunpo and mole both, you can put one on the normal one and one on the shift variation. So you can have your substitution on tab, you can have your clone on the shift, your clone trick on control, and this is for people who don't have a mouse. You can put body flicker, and if you have a gaming mouse, you can put whatever you want here, something that you need more often. You can put any jutsu you like on C, any jutsu on Alt. These jutsus would be jutsus that you can spam. So your shadow flicker would be on F. Your struggle button will be shifted to B because you're not gonna use it that often, only when you're KO'd. If you have a gaming mouse, you can put target on here, T target. If you don't have a gaming mouse, you can put punch on here. And your Y can be a command button, but it has to be a shift Y, so you can use Y for something else. So, and you're not gonna use command that much. And your move blockers like dot on wall or like pink barrier, whatever you want that blocks jutsus, you can put on G. And that's it. And if you have a gaming mouse, you can put your body flicker on the mouse 4 button and your punch key on mouse 5. So let's see how it looks in game. So I have Toei on the squiggly button next to 1. I have clone trick on control. I have clone on shift. I have substitution jutsu on tab. And then we have T target on spacebar. We have dot on wall on G. Shadow flicker on F. And that's it. I have body flicker on my mouse 4 and my punch on my mouse 5. So that's the macro. Now that your macros are out of the way, we can focus on some hidden mechanics that a lot of people don't talk about, which is the first one would be slash aiming, punch aiming, or X aiming. Now what does that mean? So this is a Naruto Final Fight mechanic that when you have an NPC or a person targeted like so by double clicking on them, so when you punch, you look in their direction like so. So what that does is essentially it leads you into an easier way of attacking people. So if I were just to shoot out a jutsu, it will go straight. But if I have somebody targeted and then I punch before my move, like so, it will go in their direction without much effort, as long as you have that person targeted. So what you can do is you can shushin or body flicker and utilize that mechanic. So what we will do is I will body flicker, go close to them, so the jutsu lands easier, then punch before I land the move, and then land the actual move. So this is how it will look. Let's do that again. I'm gonna body flicker, punch, and then do the jutsu. Let's do that again. Body flicker, punch, and move. So that's how it looks. Now you can create more variations, and so you're not that predictable. What you can do is you can move, you can body flicker like this, then shadow flicker, and then punch, and then land a move. So this is how it will look like so. Let's wait for our cooldown. So I am facing downwards, so I have to look left in order to shadow flicker towards them. So I'm gonna body flicker over here, then I'm going to look left, and I'm gonna land here, and then I'm gonna punch and then land a move. So this is how it will look again. I messed it up. So this is how it will look. So this is how it will look like so. And then we can move on to the next mechanic, which is priming your Shushins. What does that mean? So priming your Shushin means when you have a move that takes a long time to come out, what you can do is you can push the body flicker button and then prime it, and then you will do your long hand seal, and then you're going to memorize the timing, and then you're gonna Shushin right across where you want to shoot it, so you can aim it better. Because if you're going to just move around while doing hand seals like so, it's gonna be easy to predict and easier to dodge. But if you Shushin at the right time, body flicker, you can land it much more efficiently. So let's do that again. You need, all the jutsus have different hand seal timing, so you have to memorize these, and it's just going to become muscle memory at this point. So you're going to prime your Shushin, then you're going to start doing the hand seal, then you're going to go closer and land the jutsu. I had landed it right at the point where the hand seal was gonna end. So we'll do that again. Prime your Shushin, do the hand seal, and then teleport as soon as the hand seal ends. So that's called priming your Shushin. Now let's talk about the key essential points of PvP. So when you're fighting people, you're trying to get their target by clicking on them, so you can land stuff easier. But when you fight real people, they are going to drop target. What does dropping target mean? So you remember our clone trick, our clone jutsu, and our substitution jutsu? Well, all of these for most characters drop target. So when you're fighting people, your first priority should be to move around, make it harder for your opponent to catch your target, and if you see them doing like slashes and then landing jutsus and they're coming towards you, that means they have your target. So what you need to do is you can use a substitution jutsu that will drop your target. You can use a clone trick, you can use clone, or you can even mole like so, like this, like that. So these all will drop your target. Let me show you. I'll bring my other character. So I'll target this guy, and then I'll use a substitution. Just look here, you see it targeted the substitution and it dropped my target. So let's do that again. Let's use clone trick. It dropped target again. Okay, let's use clone trick. My bad. Clone trick. It dropped target. Let's use mole. You see it dropped target. So that's how dropping target works. You need to keep spamming these two suits. That's why they're so close to your WASD key, so you can spam them mid-fight. So every day you need to do these drills. You're going to target an NPC. You're going to Shushin, practice your Shushin, and I'll link a guide for how to learn to double click. It doesn't work on all mouse, but you can check if it works on your mouse. I'll link a guide towards it, and then you can use that guide to master your double clicks. Like so, you're gonna practice Shushin, and then once you get comfortable doing Shushins, you'll start incorporating your slashes after the Shushin. Then once you get comfortable with slashing after your Shushins, then you will try to do a jutsu after your Shushin. Like this. And remember I told you can also X aim. So X aim works similar to slash aiming, where once you press X, it looks towards your target. You press X, it looks towards your target. You press X, it looks towards your target. So in most cases you don't really use X, but for specifically for fire moves you can use X, and you can even spam X while your moves are going out, like that. Let me give a better example. Like so, I'm looking above like this, but I'll keep spamming X while my hand skills are going, so it's gonna follow the target. You see, it was supposed to go all the way up, but it went in different directions, irregular directions. And you can also use X for Hosenka, because this is better than slash aiming, and it's closer to your Z, which executes the Hosenka. So you can press X and Z together, like this. So let's do a recap of what we learned. You can shadow flicker like so and land your moves. You can incorporate Shushin with that shadow flicker like so, and then land your moves with a slash aim. You learned how to slash aim like so. You learned how to X aim. You learned how to prime your Shushins like so, and then you learned how to drop target. So you need to practice these things every day until it becomes your second nature. These macros that I told you, they're not they don't have to be the same for everybody. You can change it based on your preferences, but I suggest once you set your macros, you don't change them a whole bunch, because your fingers need to get used to these macros, so when you try to fight somebody, you know where to click and what to press. So make it your second nature to do these things, and then you'll surely get better.